Bernie Sanders obviously did not have the Super Tuesday that he was looking to have. And in the wake of that, some of his most high profile supporters are starting to sketch out a possible path forward. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez recently said in an interview with Newsweek, we're in a very new phase of this race. Now is the time for us to really double down on coalition building, positivity expansion, and focusing on the vision that Senator Sanders has for this country. And so right now, in terms of the delegates, they're very close. It's like 10% gap between Bernie and Biden, and that might change with California taking absolutely forever to come in. From Bernie Sanders' point of view, if you had any advice for his campaign, do you think that this is a time for staying consistent to the way he's been campaigning, perhaps hoping that Joe Biden will have some gaffes and things like that? Or is this a time where you think he might have to evolve or change his strategy significantly?
I mean, look, I think anytime you're losing, you have to evolve. You have to try to grow your coalition. I mean, I think what AOC tweeted was exactly right. Coalitions are built through addition. So you have to think about ways to reach African-American voters, to reach college-educated voters, older voters, and late deciders who are worried. I mean, I'm hopeful that this campaign has moved past the Iowa, New Hampshire period where it was just like electability obsession all the time. That's all we talked about. And I think Bernie Sanders' great strength is consistency and authenticity and a clear progressive platform. I do think he has to find a way to sort of reach people on an emotional level. Like, people can mock Biden for saying he wants to heal the country or bring people together. But when you look at exit polls, that's something that comes up over and over again in terms of what people want to see. So I think people need to, there's going to be a lot of voters who are really learning about Bernie, as crazy as it sounds, for the first time in their lives. And he needs to appeal to them on a human level and with a policy platform and try to bring people in.
We don't unfortunately have much time on this, but looking to Biden for just a second, obviously Bernie has to worry about what Bernie does, but he's also now it's down to basically two. I know Gabbard is technically still in the race, but the next debate is going to be very, very different than all the debates we've seen. If it's just those two on the stage, Biden I think his best debates have been the most recent ones, to his credit, but he has had some bad moments. He's recently had a few statements involving the arrest in South Africa that have been hard to understand as an outsider why you would make claims like that. Do you think that there's a possibility that the thing that shakes up this race might be more of a focus from the voters and the media on Joe Biden?
Absolutely. I mean, look, this has happened over and over again in this primary, right? Elizabeth Warren took a lead and there was more scrutiny and her numbers went down. Mayor Pete took a lead, there was more scrutiny, his numbers came down. Biden has had a great couple of weeks, but I would be the first to tell you, and have said repeatedly, that I thought his campaign leading into Iowa and New Hampshire was very bad. And so the biggest X factor, I think, is Biden's own performance. And when you add on top of that, the increased scrutiny that comes with being the front runner, I mean, he is now, it's now could be seen as his race to lose. And, that's a more challenging position. I would rather not have the increased scrutiny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we will certainly be watching. I can't wait for that next debate on March 15th. Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.